open this up. Alright, open that up. Alright, so I'm having fun. Then we roll it all the way here. Like that. Make sure everything is nice and fit. And then, whoop. And we're ready to go. See, check that out. So I'm right here walking around. It's pretty hot today here. We just had a typhoon yesterday, and you know, now I'm out and about because the typhoon's gone. Just shooting some film with this camera here, which will lead in to my next video. So let's change perspective, shall we? So the camera I have right here is known as the Canon SureShot Ace. This camera came out in 1988 by Canon. For the American consumer, this was known as the SureShot Ace. For Japan, this was known as the Attaboy Prisma. And for the European market, this was known as the Prisma Shot. Later on in the video, I kind of get those mixed up. So when I was reading the manual, so please forgive me. So yes, so this camera I have here has a 35mm 3.5 lens. It has 3 elements built inside this camera. Of course, the most interesting feature of all is this top viewfinder. And later on in the manual also I said something like a medium format camera. Kinda is, but not really. This is good if you want to shoot in different angles. You want to shoot low, high, whatever you want, and able to get a shot. This is very good if you want to shoot very, very low to the ground. You want to get those very low shots. This is perfect for it. It's so crazy how, like, this is the only camera that has this type of feature. Maybe other cameras do, I don't know. This design of this camera is, you know, it's not as chunky as my Ricoh cameras. My Ricoh cameras tend to be very chunky. The design of it's very nice. It's like almost aerodynamic. It's very swoopy. Kind of reminds you of like the other Canon cameras that came out during the time, and majority of their DSLRs. And I would say shooting this camera is, I like it. It's very comfortable. I would say it's a little bit more comfortable than my Canon. I can actually grip it, like I can actually shoot like I mean it, right? The other one's a little bit boxy, so it's like very slippery. And it's a little bit, maybe slightly taller, and a little bit thinner than my Ricoh cameras that I own. I would say this is the 3rd Canon camera that I have, film-wise, no digital. But technically, this is the 4th camera I ever owned by Canon that is film. The other one I have is a Prisma or Prima shot. I don't know. It's not like this, but it was a different one. But it had the same name almost. SureShot, but it wasn't Ace. That one I own, and also a Nikon film camera. So yes, and as you can see here, the most interesting features as well, it comes with this, if I can remove this, it comes with a remote. In the manual that I talk later on, I discuss that if you have a family portrait or you want to do like a interesting selfie with it, I don't know why would you can just do a selfie normal, or if you're far away, you want to get a shot or whatever, you have this remote. And actually, I don't know, maybe because my knowledge is not that great, but this is the first and only remote control film camera. It's pretty unique though. Of course, I'm not going to do it now because I have film in here. And you know, I've used it a couple times just for testing, not actually shoot film through it. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty interesting feature. I think Canon kind of went to some sort of cool experiment with this camera, and I kind of like it. I really do. I really enjoy shooting with this. The first time I shot with it, you have to be careful with low light. The focusing is not so great, but of course I kind of talk about that in the manual. And so I shot a second roll, and it was much better this time because it wasn't dark and cloudy. So overall, shooting this camera is fun, and I quite enjoyed it a lot. And I will definitely keep this in my collection because it's very unique. And I don't know if it's rare or not, but I don't see many people talking about it. And another thing before I switch over to the manual side of things, it also comes with this unique, I guess it's a stand, a built-in stand. So you can definitely, if you can see that nudge there, you can put it on the ground and you can shoot it up towards you and whatnot. So yeah, this camera is pretty cool, and I'm definitely very happy to own this. And of course I have the original box and, like I keep saying, the manual. So that's a plus side. So enough of that. Let's switch over to the manual as we talk a little bit more about the camera, and then we will get to the photos that I've taken with this camera. So let's continue, shall we? Now let's dive into the manual. I'm fortunate enough to get a box with this camera, or the original box that came with this camera. So we'll look inside the manual and see what it has here. As you can see, it says Sure Shot Ace, Ace Date, Prima Shot, and Shot Date. I'm suppose this is for the European US market. They changed the name. Don't know why. If anybody knows why, let me know. As you can see here, it's got a nice picture here with this little girl with her pet dog, probably Lassie, I don't know. But you got the table of contents here. You got your battery, camera handling, film handling, loading the film, removing the film, picture taking, remote control shooting, cell timer function, composition, etc. So it comes in different languages. So just like the Polaroid video I did, and it tells you how to check the battery, just in case if your battery is low. It says a lithium battery is placed in stone to check the battery power replacement. It's for the, I guess this is the lithium. There is a lithium battery in here. Maybe it's for the light. But you also have one for the remote. I'm assuming that's what you're checking for. And of course you can add, or maybe it is, you can add lithium batteries here. Oh, I usually just add the AA's. So you can add like a lithium battery here. That's interesting. I will try that next time. So it shows you how to replace the battery. Camera handling. You can shoot it portrait or landscape mode. Looking into the viewfinder. So in this particular camera. It kind of acts like a medium format camera, like one of those twin reflex cameras where you can look inside the viewfinder, look down, and you can shoot in different angles with it. This is probably the most unique thing about this camera. So you can look like a waist viewfinder, or high up, or even low to the ground. And I actually kind of like this because sometimes I want to shoot very, very low, and I can't, because I literally have to like lay on the floor and look through the viewfinder to get those obscure shots. And of course you have the remote, so you basically can just, you don't necessarily have to press it, you can just walk away and shoot. So it's pretty nice, pretty awesome. Removing the film, it counts backwards. I think someone wrote this, so someone who owned this probably wasn't Chinese. It was probably someone who was from a foreign country, who was probably in China using this. And it shows you how to remove the film. This, so this film is speed automatically set for DX coded film from ISO 50 to 6200. For non-coded film, ISO 100. So this can use up to 1600 film. That's pretty interesting. Using focusing. Focus lock. When your subject isn't in the center of the picture. Notice how I spaced that out. Use the focus lock functioning. This function lets you vary composition by putting the subject off center. So you have all that. Then you have taking flash photos. The flash operates automatically in dark situations, but is limited to certain distances. This distance depends on the film. The higher the ISO numbers, the further the distance becomes. So there you go. So ISO is 3.1 to 13 feet. ISO 200, 3.1. And it's cool. It looks like you can shoot. The higher the ISO, the further you can shoot. Autofocusing considerations. Please be aware that some subjects are difficult for the autofocus system. Subjects with extreme strong reflection, subjects with extreme low reflection, strong and low, subjects that do not fill the autofocusing frame, subjects through glass, car, bus, airplane, window. Use for subjects 1 through 3. Use the focus lock function on the substitute subject. And I'm like going through the pages, huh? Oh gosh. Then you have the remote control shooting. This is good if you're like want to shoot a family, or you have like a family portrait or a group portrait and you want to be in the photo. So it comes with this fancy remote, which I have showed in this video. So there you go. Remote control shooting. So the remote control gives you freedom to take pictures without pushing the shutter button. And this allows you to set up the scene and get the picture in the picture too. To place a remote controller, always set the upper end first and make sure it lock in the. And then it has a self-timing function. So you can set the timer on it as well. And then you have the date function, but I think mine doesn't have the date function. Mine is not the date. Oh, and the composition tips. So for composition tips, when in crowd, hold the camera upside down for interesting shots by using the easy viewfinder. Kneel down and shoot from a low angle to heighten action and drama. Aim for eye level when photographing people, especially children. Watch your position when shooting horizontally. I say horizon, dang. And be sure to include everything in the picture. Vertical shots emphasize a subject's height and depth. Move to the subject for increased emphasis. Place the subject off center to include the background. And then of course you have the date functions, which I don't have. but I'm pretty sure it's like most cameras back in the day that had the date functionality. Then of course you have setting the date and time. Again, I think that's and then replacing the battery back. Oh, this is for the date, but mine doesn't have date, so don't really care about that. And liquid crystal display. Liquid is used in distance area. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's his so the dimensions. Sure shot is 3 inches height, 1.3 inches. This is the height, the weight of it. This is like 325 grams with battery. Wow, that's pretty hefty. What was it? Yeah, 11.3 8-ounce. Fine. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is pretty much it for the menu spec of it. It's kind of cool to get cameras with the box and with like a menu. So when you're looking for cameras, like vintage cameras to buy, it's always a plus to make sure you find one that comes with the original packaging. I think maybe some people wouldn't care for it, but sometimes there are probably some features on some of these 90s cameras that you might not know if you just don't look in the manual. So it's a good extra touch. You guys for watching this video. I'm gonna go and hit the hay because I gotta work tomorrow, but thank you guys again. Click like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Maybe perhaps I'm trying to take a little bit more time in doing these videos, but my next couple of videos I will be doing actual street photography where I go out and shoot. I got some cameras and some stuff that I'm experimenting with right now, but I'm hoping that I can produce some street photography, photo walking around where I live in good old China, and post it on here on this YouTube channel. So stay